Hyderabad started opening up to IT and those things happened. In these 30 years, Hyderabad has grown probably like no other city in the country, number one. And I feel that in this growth, every government that came in was basically furthered this growth. So the idea of the outer ring road, the setting up of the outer ring road basically expanded the city. Suddenly the city went up to the outer ring road and now you see किसी ज़माने में था कि आउटर रिंग रोड 20 किलोमीटर 30 किलोमीटर दूर है, आज आउटर रिंग रोड लाइक ओवरआर पे ही हर आदमी रह रहा है, एंड दैट हैज बिकम ऑलमोस्ट द सेंट्रल स्पाइन फॉर transit. Now I think the way I look at the growth of Hyderabad is that the one thing which has been very characteristic about Hyderabad is that we have made very bold choices, very bold, and I would say bordering on the audacious. Nobody envisioned a 150-meter outer ring road in 2000. Like even today, people are not doing 150-meter roads. We did it in 2004. We started in 2002, 3, 4. That is the time when we conceptualized the ORR. So the point that I am trying to make is that our choices have always been bold, and our choices have always resulted in the result of our choices is for everybody to see. So the outer ring road, the Rajiv Gandhi International Airport, that time there was nobody bidding on PPP in airports, and we decided to do an airport on PPP basis. That time nobody, like actually even today nobody is doing a metro on PPP, but we bid out a metro on PPP and it is running today. There are certain issues because it's a private concern, but it is one of the best run metros in the country in terms of a lot of operational metrics, and now we are looking to expand it. So jumping from there, I would say that whatever were these path breaking policies which were there in the late 90s and early 2000s, we are probably leapfrogging. We grew on that, and now we are probably trying to take the 2.0 steps of those reforms. So for example, 2008 the HMDA was created from the erstwhile Huda, which basically expanded the role of the planning exercise much beyond the Hyderabad city. Now 10 years, 15, 16 years later, we have expanded the domain of the HMDA and taken it up to the proposed triple R now. That time we conceptualized the ORR, now we are trying to do the regional ring road, which is almost a 360 kilometer road, which our goal is to ensure that the industrialization and the industrial sectors come up in the area, the agro processing and the industrial setup of the area come up in that place. And betting on the growth of Hyderabad, I would say there are two very key aspects. One is that CS sir, when he was mentioning, he talked about registration. I would talk about something probably which comes before or probably after, the way you look at it from, if it is land, then after registration of land and before registration of flats, which is my permissions. So, and it gives me great pride to tell all of you that only in the stage of the MSB permissions, only in that category, in this 1 year, January to November, not even 1 year, 11 months, HMDA and GHMC put together have sanctioned almost 2 crore square meter of built up space, which is basically an investment of almost 1 lakh crore from the private sector in the real estate of Hyderabad. In terms of the building cost, if you multiply it by simply a factor of, I have taken it as 4,000 rupees, which I suppose is a reasonable number for a high-rise building. This is a 1 lakh crore investment which the private sector will be doing in the next 5 years on these permissions. Add the permissions of the last year, I will reach from 2 crore square feet to 3 crore, sorry. Yeah, 2 crore square, 2 crore to 3 crore, yes. So 1 crore was in the last year. This year we have given 2 crores, put together 3 crores, and it will go to 150,000 crores. 1,50,000 crores is the gross investment which will come in. And I would say that the government wants to partner in this. Government is basically a partner as far as this investment is concerned. So if I were to say it more bluntly, I would say that we as government, we are also putting our money where our mouth is. We are not simply saying that Hyderabad is a growth story, we are also betting on it. So HMDA is going ahead and raising a 20,000 crore loan to basically do trunk infrastructure in Hyderabad. So two of the elevated corridors which we are doing one has already started on the Medchal road. Another elevated corridor will be starting in the next month. The tenders are over. They are at the evaluation stage. It will start, the Shamirpet corridor will start by let us say 15th of February or so, post Sankranti, more or less. Similarly, the regional ring road, which is the Honorable Chief Minister's brainchild, which will again form another ring outside the outer ring road. Post the regional ring road, the idea is to do radial roads. Radial road 1, it gives me a lot of pleasure to tell you that radial road 1, the work has already started. Land acquisition, almost 30% of the land for the radial road 1 is in our possession, and it will now, the other private land acquisition is also at a very advanced stage. Probably in another 6 months, we should be able to close the entire land acquisition of 41 kilometers. And this is a road which is costing us 4,500 crores. So what I'm trying to say is that the government also is investing money to open up new areas in order to ensure that these areas become the next centers of growth. So today we have a Gachibowli, we have a financial district, but this is saturated. What will be our next frontier? So on the next frontier, these roads will play a major role in opening up Future City, in opening up Chandan Valley. All of that is under progress. So put together, we were actually doing this calculation yesterday, and we realized that the net amount of money, the gross, the total investment that we are making in these roads, which are already underway. Regional Ring Road, Radial Road 1, Radial Road 2, two elevated corridors which have already been tendered and are work under progress, and the third elevated corridor which will go from road number 12 all the way up to Shilpa layout. All of this put together, what we are looking at is an investment of approximately 35 to 40,000 crores of infrastructure investment in Hyderabad on roads alone. This is only roads. And then I had the metro rail, our DPR for almost 162 kilometer expansion phase 2A and 2B is with the Government of India, which the Government of India also has agreed, this is also something good, like something which I would want to share with all of you, that Government of India has agreed in the visit of the Honorable Minister Urban Development in November. In November, wherein they have committed to sanctioning whatever are the feasible corridors, and we know for a fact that most of our corridors are feasible. We have not pushed unfeasible corridors. So most of it, this 162 kilometer gets sanctioned, and this is another 42,000 crores. So 35,000 crores on the roads, 42